1,000 eno eyedie efri ho no eba ene enwumre yebenya adaje na afi yaka ho ensem omampani Mahama Asia Organized Labor ene omoto atwadwene titru efa minimum wage ena afi increment salary increment home na ho eno omampani ede ekotu dwase mu peska no de ewom yetumo ebi kame na mom Ghana Yeshe Ghana pa a crime scene in terms of economics and I say in terms of finance and no ensem ekadwumadi ebedi ne enwumre enso ho na afei ye bobo ho afei Mahama anemu ne cabinet ministers 19 cabinet ministers excluding the youth and development minister and excluding sports and recreation minister eno eho ensem enso hanma yebebobo ho na afi yaka eho ensem omampani Mahama ekohia the UK prime minister na ode ensem etu nanim efa IMF ene budget no enso eho yenhyase efefri ho de kan omampani ekasai edefa budget no ho yenko denkoti ensema omampani ekan enso edefa budget no enso eho. Here say okay.
An IMF program, and one of the things it enjoins us to do is to be very prudent in terms of our fiscal discipline, and to make sure that we're able to come out of the crisis. And we're going through an economic crisis that is known by everybody. We're in an IMF program, and one of the things it enjoins us to do is to be very prudent in terms of our fiscal discipline, and to make sure that we're able to come out of the crisis and bring the country back onto the path of growth and create prosperity for our people. We have a young, growing population, and so one of the major issues, and that came up strongly in the election, was the issue of jobs. And so working together to see how we can bring in more investments, especially considering that we're shut out of the international credit markets, to bring in more foreign direct investment, to be able to create jobs for young people is one of the things that we're going to be focusing on. And I believe that, with the history of British companies investing in Ghana, we've got a long tradition, and so how we can showcase the opportunities that are still available in Ghana and bring more British companies in to come and partner with us in that objective is something that we'll look to do. And so you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
And we are living in a very unpredictable world where relations between countries are becoming very transactional. And we have the issue of the freeze in assistance from the United States. We're trying to make our own budgetary adjustments to make up for the shortfall of some 156 million odd US dollars. And so it's something that we can adjust the budget to fit. But it's my hope that the rest of our partners will continue to maintain the cooperation that we have, or even lift the level of cooperation so that we can continue to assess the value.
Right, we are Mampeni. Enso no ya ode etu edwam enso eho na yanko na fei yenti minority leader ene anase minority leader ene one aban eko efa the 10% increment make public sector pay increase no ono so ede ensem ahodo etudwa avenyo markets ekasai ede fa 10% nei omampeni enso ede ato aba anase adwumaifo aketuemu.
In 2017, public sector workers enjoyed 12.5% increment, 2018 11%, 2020 15%, 2021 there was a 4% plus interim premium of 15%, 2022 there was 15% COLA on base salary, 2023 30%, 2024 23% between January and June, and then July to December was 25%. We have just had a paltry increment of 10%. The leader of government business, The leader of government business must take note of this and inform His Excellency the President that these are the numbers he came to meet. The ordinary Ghanaian worker has a higher expectation in this 133 24-hour reset economy. They have a legitimate expectation that President Mahama will do. If he cannot match it, he should do better. Mr. Speaker, the 10% is unacceptable.
We Yura Afenyo Markins and Sama Odi Etuja said the 10% is not acceptable. We and some of the Tuja say one more apenso, or more tumu, no more tum, no more tumu, but Saturday John Dramani Mahama or Yomampenia or Tisu a name. As just 10% per ena audito for Akatrium and no and sama Afenyo Markins and so the Etujam and so honum. Young Koniente, the majority leader, Yura Mahama Ayarga, Honoso and Sama Wakaye and so found.
Appreciate with government regarding salary increases. Mr. Speaker, at the end of the negotiations, the workers of this country, led by their leaders, the union leaders, happily and gladly accepted 10% increase. Mr. Speaker, accepting 10% increment as against 25% or 12% or 13% is a vote of confidence in the leader. Because they are confident that President John Dramani Mahama, when he collects the public money, taxes, he will not be flying aircraft and bathing in the air. That he will not be engaging in profligate spending. He will not be engaging in wasteful spending. And because they are confident that President John Dramani Mahama is going to make good use of the public, the tripartite committee met.
We the majority leader, Yura Mahama Ayarga, one also in Sama or the Etuja Fiyanko. Aye Galamsey no eso na yenhwem. The Minister for Lands Yenra Ama Kofi Boa ejina floor of Parliament etremu ene Galamsey edwumedia edi say yensase ene nkro ne ba ene kwan a omofa so a wo mo ekom yenti nsama minister no ade tudwa na afi yakuya ya hwe various sites ene we aye new niema meka Galamsey a ekoso wamra ene aban ewosoi yenti nsama Yenra Ama Kofi Boa ade tudwa.
Their national security and public health consequences that require immediate attention. Honourable Speaker, it will interest you to note that out of the 288 forest reserves that I have mentioned, a whopping 44 of these forest reserves are under serious attack by illegal miners, and an estimated area of over 5,000 hectares has been devastated. And to put it puterially, about 7,000 standard football fields is what I'm talking about. That has been devastated. 7,500 football fields gone. This is mostly occurring in these specific areas. One in the Ashanti region, the Bakwai, in Kawiya, in the western region, Takwa, Dabuasi, and in the western north, Bibiani, Enche, and Juaboso, especially. Mr. Speaker, the approach adopted by illegal mining gangs is quite alarming and frightening. They are heavily armed with sophisticated weapons and very violent with large numbers of excavators, making it extremely difficult for forest guards and the rapid response team to control them, since they have no sophisticated weapons. Portions with their national security and public health consequences that require immediate attention. Honourable Speaker,
the Minister for Lands and Afe Ode and some Ade Atudwa Ade Efa Galamsey Afe Yanko na Afe Yenhwe areas Nibia ene Galamsey yebe den ana yetu ase Yanko na Afe Yenhwe areas Nibia ekoso udo ne echima Obuasi East Islamic School a ewo ho school no ma digala fa hunyi nada o ma digada edi afa hu nyina na school no temfimfim ena esi kon so wo hwe amena ededa ho ene nkwadai eko school ho so bi kura ko tom nas aba ehemfa na Ghana ye kro. Where are we going? We Obuasi East Islamic School ewo ho ena Galamsey for edis excavators ejira ho a yemu edie yemfa ho kra ne teacher for no ekwaje so mobo nose mask na nkwada no so abo nose mask respiratory issues ahodo a ewo school ho nyasem kuma kra, and all these things are going on and nobody seems to care as obi anfa ho and obi anam ne baby na oye the opebia. This is at the premises of a school ewo Obuasi East and a sansem way enso ekoso ewo ho ohwe se de omugina ho na omudia school no na si ho no. That is the school and esi ho no ma excavators etwa school no ho ahia enti se nkwada ekura esuade a ebede no manya peace of mind na afei omo de esuade kura amade na omusua no kura no etimi akomunim akasa ebia school no kura bedia tom se bom na afei asem kura asan. This is happening on Obuasi. This is what is going on. Obuasi is Gada and a yedi aben school, and still nobody seems to care. Why and I said ye so share Emma Sanema way yetimi etuase. Mekai in 2024. Proud to the election and someone who will buy a far Galamsey home. Na man for camp, na man for camp, na as a buy or tiso, a yin ni, na se on who dear offer at some emfa, or more a year demonstrations are do ho. Still a buy a free so, Emma buy our bay at the campaign. Still these things are going on. I don't think Hosa, Ghana. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And a year huna afe, way ebeba. Nasa sebio omo moti mantem ho enkwada omo ko school honum apeke some kind of diseases ebe ya no saying, and this is going on at Obuasi East Islamic School, and that is going on there. My school ni din ye na fe amanfo hu what I'm talking about, and so hanum Obuasi East ho ensem and meka ho asemi we Islamic educational complex Obuasi East municipality school esiho eno that is the school, and that is what is going on over there. Enya honko udwani achem ewo miamia do bewra, and so you see fresh one ye kasa manfo nyi o excavators emfa free ho no na manfo atwiko wuram yenyi free ho ne ye twuram yenyi free ho ne ye twuram. Now they are so sophisticated say enei ebeye ding se omo ye armed nanu ne yete se zantrofo bi ne omo ko se de si hwe omo na ye twetwa bi no enyasem kuma, and these things are going on and we are looking on set the bibia as you lose the fight against Galamsey, and that is something we shouldn't tolerate, and that is what is going on. These are things going on in our mother Ghana. Obi ankasis ka kwanye na mom kwan efa so ayetu no. That is where the situation is. Where is the government? What is the promises now making? You know, what are they doing? Yet these things are going on just like that, and we are watching, and health workers will come and tell you the implications of these things on the human life. So especially those that are young and those that are unborn. We are here school these things are going, and there are young people there going to school. We koso and we are there watching. Say again and among and a year two, and so at the afahom. Can we just put away our political lenses, baby? Then we should fight this canker as a head on, as citizens who want the best for our nation. And as a saying, and a young corner. Oko nyina hini ene ne mpotemu a eno so ye di ne saa wo mu gumu wo mu di saa wo mu diko no mu diko, and that is happening in Ghana. Sa ena AC awoye man e Ghana mu. Now we should take away the politics and free mu. Then we should fight it because the politicians no edi hwamo. Womo mo kasa mo bom betuase no, womo ne yete so masako guma wo mudie. And that is what is happening. Ewo ye my Ghana mu ha. Well, yehwe eno ho ansam eno no tigaram se ho nsam no. Eno eka topic so ene enwumre ya yebedi eho dwuma na afi yaka eho ansam enso ewo ha na yahwe sede eho ansam te yanko mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na no sha organized labor eno de to manim se ene oman Ghana a crime scene in terms of finance. Ghana a crime scene because about the dana wutwam ekoye no said the what te Ghana sika pansam no nyasem kuma enti organized labor anti asema no na 10% no wo fa ne na dache sika ni si ya na sika sem ni si ya wo betum ma yenti o mampani nsama wo de tudwa no.
One thing that is a cardinal principle for us is to tell the truth at all times. We all knew the economy was in crisis, but some of the things I'm discovering myself, I mean, it's been a criminal handling of our economy. And Ghana is a crime scene, actually, because how a government can have been so reckless, I cannot understand. But we're faced with a reality, and our options are very few. We can behave like the ostrich and hide our heads in the sand and let the economy crash. But then what effect would it have on Ghanaian households and everybody? And so I've told him, I said, cut expenditure as much as you like. Even we ourselves in Office of Government Machinery, cut as much of our budget as you like, because we all must make those sacrifices. A certain distrust of the political class has arisen, because it's like when everybody else is tightening their belts, the political class is loosening its belts. But I want to assure you that we're all going to tighten our belts, and there will be no wasteful expenditure. It is said that we create and share. And so let's start cooking the meal now so that we can share when we have created. But right now, the meal is not only insufficient, the cooking pot is even leaking. And so I'll just appeal to you that let's tamper our demands for this year. And once we get out of the woods, we've set good targets to bring inflation down so that the cost of everything will come down. We've set targets to grow the economy, to make things better. And when the cake is baked and it's bigger, we'll share bigger. We are proposing.
We Omampeni, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Mrosha Organized Labor. Omo esha negotiations and is 60%. No Mampeni, any omo negotiate man ejina 6. Na the above 50%. No ako 8%. Na afei wama ba former be 13 in krone ba hona for Mampeni say de mamin step in na menche say na situation etie enti mo de monye 10%. Na echi niema eye ya. Na afei yakọ na afei yatum wo ye to aketua mu kra me kra no ebi ekame we eyensema wo de tudwa sanse medical de tudwa se minority e de kan a respond say enei poultry 10% eno mampeni e de atka aketua ehum na ehum sema afei the cabinet ministers ne omna mampeni be yedwuma Minister of Finance Dr. Kessben Atoforsen, Minister for the Interior Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, Minister for Health Kwabena Minta Akando, Minister for Defense Dr. Edward Kofiomane Boama, Attorney General and Minister for Justice Dominic Akuritinga Ayini, Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Abdullah Jinapo, Minister for Education Haruna Idrisu, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Elizabeth Ofuswe Jare, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Emmanuel Amakofibwa, Minister for Foreign Affairs Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Minister for Food and Agriculture Eric Opoku, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation Samuel Nate George, Minister of Roads and Highways Kwame Governs Abuja, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources Ejay Kenneth Gilbert, Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Ahmed Ibrahim Anafe, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection Agnes Na Mumo Late, Minister for Transport Joseph Bukari Nikpe, NFA Minister of Labor, Jobs and Employment, Abdul Rashid H. Pelpo, Wamo Ena Ene, Omo a former cabinet. But conspicuously missing is Minister for Sports and Recreation and Minister for Youth Development. And then your discussion. And they say, oh, messenger, what do I bet him there for 0551599933 0551 599-933. Yen sabeka na afi ya kenkan enso elha ede amamo. Mamenko na afi mema abejafo akwaba na afi yen fa enkomotutwe no enhyeso. Mr. Joseph Amwa, a senior member, Movement for Change. Afafranto. Yeah. Abeni, good evening.
Good evening.
Naboko there.
Sanso
Edmond upon Pepra Eka MPP communication team no ewo Asante region. Eddie, good evening.
Good evening.
Naboko there. Yedengamiase. Yeah, trying say Mr. Aaron Kuma on a lecturer Amstead Obeba Anafe Kwame Tua Patrick and so everybody can sa na fe yedi adwuma no said he was yedi pepepe. But me say from the issue of Galamsey, the lands minister Eco Parliament Ediko Tuga say a forest reserve and about 205 forest reserves now on move 44 there Galamsey for no atiesimwa we almost share enye yi and now no man penny the Tuga say yes che excavators na mayenhye no na emum o mehwe kwan a omo edebefa so but ne ya ye ka Galamsey ho asem who demonstration by in the and I say the SWAL MPP government and then Kronebani na gadai egusua ekoso msama mama sha sem from free ho me the obosi is school there no eto ho no wo ma dia for school no ho ye di end of school no essence en wiem obedi bia
idea I am very complex now to solve this Galamsey issue, but quite a while say your political will not a bit more solve.
The issue is the political will.
Yes, the political will. Between make us and this year and Galamsey no pay report on each other. Any power more benefit from it is close to 1.8 million.
1.8 million people
in various stages. Those who are based directly, and then move on to move from one state to the other. Echo be or to near my on the equipment no parts. You know, so Umahona Mudi Umuja, and the beams of Hosua. A hono manager be a ye a bar nema. A hon alcohol. We didn't get baby out to me high restaurant in the
Scofie. Anyway,
a ma need to know I did. That's to say about we see what banner. Not a cat, not she wasn't very vocal on Galamsey. That I said.
As a walk, as a wonka.
The Obasi say no, I will confront no. I'm very difficult man. But NPP dear, na de na kwati ya umu amase na umu ye hi. Cause the way na umu yi umu ni ma enkrofo no essay insas. For example, you call existential threat. Say I didn't know e ban. So fan din na wan kan ho hwia. The bedroom maybe no. Chese o mani nyina bebo. So for instance, na insuo ya almost say no air contaminating. Insuo last nam tie kan say na air campaign you kon na Maria ho nyina. Na ya ba adwen say de wonu nsuo ni bi. Be duru ba ana anantwie ba bi ana ho ase ana anantwie di
gumo amonum.
Endo no na so akwa konom ayi sign na ayi ni bia.
Mercury ni sign na ni
abana body mo. Nti wo ba mayanka wa ba to na ntwi nam so kwa wo wo mfa ho wo nu nsuo onye bi. But Nijuna beto ebia na efiri ho ne bae. E che say ade no to aso sa na Mercury nso ba bia be wura bia ne ka wa na aka. Enne nipa bebre de mu needless pains beer. Omonti omo only be free by. So two boys a proper test problem beer na. There might be some deposit of these things in their systems. And then you there therefore. Now, Alan Chamatin na our policy or person do two games in us. You're afraid with a BRS. Ban, restore, and support. BRS. Okay. It did also ban or bar. The first 2 years, no, obey banning all mining activities.
Okay. Was it the way to go? Will he have that political will and go back to the air? Come man kwame na timi aye.
To man no enka obeye because na unzalama is a doer. The workers obey. We ban it near say ban a good movement entirely. So bibi because for instance, I don't think the dream may be because the team the curfew got to.
Okay.
Is it because any panel more no money rights so obetime piano? But there cost 20. But ne baby I drone them si amfa curfew anto hana anto to many year. And when ye janus are between say inti ye hu sa de no e se o man nyina wotia na de wotenkra na wonum nsuo se mfa ho wobehu no na nsuo na wonum no mercury ni bi mercury nso no you can see it you see akwa you filter nsuo the amount you akwa bottle water wonum ni bi ana mercury and will be a threatened by this type of galamsey ekoso entina ka be ban for some time na ya restore ya make sure say ya restore ya nyema no a ese no nyina when it comes the forest nsuo no enti na afei forest no so ase no ye nwie dua nyema ebetimi atu mercury na akwehye na bibi ti say friends Bampro. Bamboo no near you know. And so Bian Hodma, ya no, within some time, the Timias are dear Kamuche. It would get dear Sanaman Nana, or for a sea area, Hono Masses and Nana, and Sunotin Hornets, a tear. Now you come out of then how can we support these people to do the right thing?
It's that 2 years, you know, how are you going to cater for them? How will they survive? Because we will have a livelihood near depend on that one.
Now, lively, yes, lively. The Anusuna, and which resent not going to say my not only
anyway.
What I say? Yeah, who say? I dare not a hot because we go the Okromazin. See a dear children here, Becca Cran. Oh, last time a king of medals. Was it the Obesumia and gold? Was so be a man and was son, you not done gold. I saw the new videos also done gold. We gold, no? What do I say? And you gold the Okromazin. We've had a Jerica report now. We said that from the north to the south is a danger.
Baby at the house.
At the baby, the tail cry knee. Do you see how we say when I say near Babacono? The end mean you right methods are a bit in the gold. You been Yesica, yes, a team over toying. Yes, you becon say, yeah, then we are sorry. That's what I'm saying. And you ban and then we restore and then you support the people. What support you? Now make sure say what keep them in order. You give them the right incentives to work, and then you bring your constitutional. Yet me I am ahimfo abe part of this nema ekosi. Konewe bo ho ahimfo ni more. I'm into that area and I understand what I'm saying. It will be a kwaji concession. Me need gold concession there, but kwaji concession first no. Na ga kwaji a obekọ ayi ahimfo no be fa omuso ni ayi. Wo mbetime delay wo sa. Yes, come be demand nunya. Na de na da hono ntimi ye. They do maybe no there was some kind of changes kakra. Obekọ no obe unsabe ka alliances ansa na akwa chia wo hene. So, ya no eboa kakra ma eni anu ye licenses no. Na e hoto kakra because ohini bi ho a no e difficult. Obeso ko jade on ho. So obi kra wo ho anim. Wo kra unti no. Obetime za so mfa de no ma ebo obebo wo no. Unyes kakra na de tua. Edi na de no da house na o licenses no a hange minerals commission. And the side any free kakra na boy. But I say some ade na say e kona chidodo. And is ahimfo bam na community no bam I can say these things we don't want them to go on here. Musio say, yes, you say, or hinabem. That's when ya a buying support. Say, yen near support to inti, yen say. A mass animal winkles. Nipan Benedumana say, on touch you, on touch your forest, and then you say. And then there must be a legislature. A batch say, Obi, Alan's policy, no, I can say, Obi call forest, Munas or Quack was saying no. They say only about 500,000 acres of a forest there. I say. Because of a bino, now say, this the no best say at the end. Never say on say no. Now say a chinoa. Now say Nipano says you. Now say a chinoa. You know qua my life imprisonment. See a chinipa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No mean as life imprisonment there. We are better now. Go bound that dinner. And yes, it's a view. No, me a genesis, answer a crow. Oh, Munyai, with a Munyai, in twin see a p. Say, Nipano, this is where we are going. But you can't say Munyai, dear.
Mr. Manya, Yentiminka, because if you are young crop for not being a shimo mood, and as a mine, a young friend, Aluvia, a yaw moy. Is it a small, you mean friend small scale, but sir, surface man no more. We be the small scale mine, or just small scale mining license here. Maximum acreage, about 25. 25 acres. My abros are 30. Any rebemao, who is small scale, or you large scale, it mamma more. But the point is, because a year a surface mining, Okujinaso be 1 week, I clear 25 acres in her. No cross lands is not or they call other areas. And the one be Brehonma or more man, one lines is not. Is not located to exactly where they are meant. Omatra. And we also akwa large scale. One team to have got large scale who's can nyagro. And we akwa exploration and also be a recce. Akwa reconnaissance licenses. Our day kwako share why is the be or what you know could you know licenses not due to. You don't see I'm now there because and I say because a grove whom say umutu na lances. Also for lances, maybe not your lances, no. Baby a dano, baby a walk on. So a baby never you know, crowns, but not lances, no, by that or that area. And I'm saying, some lances, you know, see. Oh, yeah, but I can't say the Zion Hope. Or the can't the Zion Hope, but so just say, oh, yeah. And just say you are attracted to go close to the water and you destroy it. Say the crowd, Mr. Fisherman, didn't bit me. I said, work as a way because the NDC, some of the good policies, baby, make the youth know a juma. Now, good
policies, they have to start now.
Okay.
What I say? And try ma adiano festa na say no because they see anu o who say o ma relax kakra no obi e bojaye odu obi e twa ban den no afiri no and say ho you no otu we mo wura kwanyase we mo wura realize and it's not helping us o man no dey say no na me no na politicians no udu mo ya dey a obre because I deal with galam say ni asemi na because I'm saying, you know, not politicians for no, we are kakra. We be more, we deep excavators, I can see we more, yano with careless abandon. We be because we're your party chairman, Utimia Bibia. I'm not yet more cruma.
Anyway,
what I say? Say your mom brother and your cruma. We should forget if an influencer. And those influencers, any those who have something, the law cannot catch them there. Because we be more start a good for the time. Now one more the licenses need letters for Jubilee House. But yes, see how my house in oh yes, Say my palm MPP for you know this for question. Must it continue like that? It is your mama. Me say he has only this time to make a name and leave it. So when you are making name this term, that's what you forget it.
But that's it. My memory, opening on a fee and share on also in summer or the tuja. Edmond, Gada, Eka who be near 2 more because more in any year. Abayes Waba, na the equity me huni ye.
Yes. Near here pa no and it's yingna yen say Galano ye adebia e can Ghana for whom na say I mean the normal Ghanaian there on the on friend Gala new ni man and it's I mean a former good ye honum no nusu didie.
All right.
Say senior from Afro Alliance Emma I mean figure of I believe 1.8 no crash.
I know you're the recognizer.
In fact, conservative estimates say it's at least 3 million.
3 million people are involved.
Relying on that area. And I know you are conservative figures. And you know, say so idea nipa 3 million and above. A did free home there. Say uka say utu one more and easy. Name I will say to me a year bold. Unya that kind of fortitude no. The tackle.
I don't know politician that balls to address, confront the issue head on.
I know it is a question that should be put to the present government. Say Argentina
past government to me uncle.
I mean Ghana for 280 ano. Okay. So about 6 months or almost 1 year to the elections, a very topical issue so much. Emma for the first time, organized labor getting involved on issue about ABA or base pay.
More fair,
ABA normal citizens. But yenum bino ye criticizing no and say now almost stands based on yemban. But na ka enso ye hwesenka go beyond say ban no say o ban no na de biem na oye a group like UTAC yenua Professor Jampo now only this strongly lesbian but some of us sat back and say UTAC a professional body more intellectuals yenum be crampo challenges offer realistic solutions. Say bia ye move from one step to the other. How do we ubani how do we get back the land? Land no should be regenerated and recuperate. But say emphasis ningina we on ban nti say what is the next way forward? Okay. Men so no had early, but my fault to present government kakra because we are aware say on this case Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo was prepared to put his presidency on the line. At the end of the day he was criticized say 1 year enough fair enough and he also obemuno yes is one edua wan krampo and answer edia wu no entekuma enkwatranse ntonku and you are aware say we cost MPP so much. Yeah.
But he's just about 1.5 months into his
1 month, almost 2 months. Uti I said near waka so far and shows how we committed to fight it. Me one example. Yet we are Emmanuel Ama Kufibwa, fine gentleman, articulate. Last day so we or 2 blows here and there. But on this issue. Because for about 5,000 hectares or so, blah blah blah. But media maintain our city. Say na yeba be attackle. Okay. For the data there, we know it.
Also, BIA should get involved because ekuna yedine.
And you know me here that I'm here right now. How do I get involved now?
Can't we have a national consensus? Let's think about the whole thing, the problem forward. Not yen build it. Not yen to me solve.
I know a fantastic idea, Odeba. Now, also, what did he say? Okay. And nunti na yaya no minister. And also a easy ministry at all. May assure so a cabinet. cabinet, I mean,
or a cabinet minister. Yes, or cabinet
with
minister.
a whole, I mean, entitlements on area. You know, that on area, I don't take some. And you know, on minister may so on in fact,
that's what take it.
But first, only can take lead. And can we be a but I saw that man very well. I mean, Parliament how moves and you know I mean don't know, you don't know how to talk. And because someone like also policy saying that government at the ato egu akwemu and you know your person Ghana for a support na obia ewuru na say who live on vague open. Meanwhile, watch our opposition for 8 years. When Munia Ekosu Nina, who plan, I mean, Alan for the buy, who plan MPP at the buy, which I'll tell you some. That's a we because Sasa, yes, 5,000 hectares. We know that. Say, yeah, penny solution.
All right.
A day now, oh yeah, afa home in your capacity, me a short pass and until present at the to honum. One for one to honum to come and complain. One for one to honum to tell us, Eke say na I say, and the Miakra no, I mean, I know it, which is very sad. Name mum brony say coherent policy bang, consistent policy bang, well coordinated policy bang, and I ode air to honum amiaye. Okay, let's give him the benefit of that. I be an affair now. Organ home. And I say now that is it.
Okay.
And you know, in fact, Uti Sona every year be a State of the Nations address. Uti Nia Galamsey, I mean, Edru. And you were all the facts. And the answer na unu na I mean, you are prepared. And I don't know, say, it be taken 2 years. And now no, he has thrown it to us. Say at the end of the air day, and easy. But Enra so and in fact, Enra cried there na Enra there no cried in chain that day. Because Enra there no na president at the presidency. I mean that too.
Okay.
And then what are we doing? Yeah, at least we the SEO Ashanti regional. I mean a young regional minister Adam Monsweti also on the political week. Well, 2 weeks obia excavator and feeding na you free on Mubiangala way. And no cry say, I mean, he has been criticized. Says crime the crime in
2 weeks in I feel na man for Sandy.
That is it. I feel crime na oma sujagum here. Obia wesi bone kwanzu so obedi bone no. Otimi 2 assassina say every has say echo say I mean miles away because on him so 2 weeks. And then now we're moving right away.
Okay.
Now we say 2 weeks. 2 weeks no cry no enya 10 time here in fact meeting no Kessben has say encrophobia load or machines. I could go I mean forest
and wura hini and then the obosi is the dia saba be ka ho.
Kobro nyina.
Be bia mu go.
The forest no menye. They have virtually closed their eyes.
Yeah.
Yo, and you know it shows I mean solutions are here adopt and run who did the same to the bar. And yet, I mean, it is not going to work. Right. But I mean, generous. I mean, we will give him a few ideas.
Been saying what ideas are the man say?
One idea. In fact, me the man no and say on TSC say so say wow people no. Say ufri say omobe cooperate with you when lele on this you are lying.
Okay.
Oni akro enjoy honum kakra. Onim say honum de pa unya peace kakra kra no a.
Why
enti no ufri say I mean ono wa buy na aba. Enti ono be cooperate I adwene dia ene onfa eno no ento nche. Say his greatest challenge ebe free onwa ne backyard.
Okay.
Your people will challenge you openly. Ebi be ko be bia consensus documents. Akoje documents from the presidency. Ebi krampo be busa na okura who are you? And oba be prevent us from eating. And with that I mean in mind, you know, on tackle no head on challenge or on declare no as crime. In fact, Enka I would have expect to say crime scene are present at this crime. Has a moment
financial crime scene.
Very good. Has a moment it should be described as a crime scene. Now, what over venture beyond you should be treated as a criminal.
Okay.
se mia minua I mean Patrick Etua venture into area on declared as criminal or mention
no matter political color of affiliation.
So when you that political war, na signal be anko say, hey, no one crop for crampona or de say idiom obi enfiu.
Right.
Enti no so mo babe rura Ashanti region asha see adi. So when you that political war no anko chi omo and prosecute omo. In fact, I mean, others and so no a bit him. In fact, on one NDC no only another party in Beko collaboration crampo aye. And what is he doing? Remember, in fact, I'm Pacho Kessben for Modi News no about Bontieno, a dear baby Nesi. Have you followed it? More following who said, or more yes, I know have
follow
rested.
You follow, but nothing has been done actually.
Very good. When was the last time you followed?
You want to say this week, yeah. In the course of the week, you follow. I will say you want to say still fresh machines are being taken into the forest.
And no, Chase, he has failed in the fight before the fight even
started.
Began. Has no political war, no the Bayer Juma Anna. Enka nanka wa crack people no enka dia chain nanka military please assume in near arrest your yes. Hey Papa no and newa betra bia nine on a strong signal. But near all ye dear. Who see being 2 weeks no so e been so at yes him dinde. And you know, on demonstrating well, no, say well, no, first, and sana, I mean, wait me, I rope at the scene. My second point, you know, is a fight, you know, a holistic fight. Unti mean so hase and so hase. Also, all 4 corners, no, at a go, na, in fact, chichre no. Oh, the political well, no, I mean, a face, you know, also. Other engagements taking place. Community no number 2 key key partners. So will be the new excavator ebe remwa or mudike hu ansa no be hu assemblymen or mo honum ehu farmers or mo honum ehu chiefs or mo ehu. And it's almost well now. Almost to miss top and before the 10 evening starts.
But the issue is that, Doctor, sometimes Omobano they are heavily armed, protected by some group of people. Our community, yes, some you be show me na say.
Very good. And I know you're good for. But I want nipa or me determined. Now, omunim say government ebebo omuhubaya. Who are a few guys? I mean, holding.
You can be no more. You be a kasi incentive. You try more. And be military people. Ya prepare be no more.
But in fact, I mean, Busa say emra. And no, I followed it clearly. Na the mihumba kono ni say emra. Yes, I know. Some of the community people even supported them. Assembly manner or makwako interview no earlier crowd na assembly man na crowd put you on my mind. And you see, you know, it was with the active connivance of the community.
Yeah.
But NKN community no actually who said there be madiewe is in Suasia. And Cardian and go that far. You were examples of my communities bebre. I just said there be. I said there Galano and fire in CRC. You know, I know you one area. Now, so we community now who the chiefs, you know. I mean, see and chair and ye.
All right.
Maybe one day, you know, I mean, we'll talk about the need to review the acts. Now, in fact, in the acquisition process, no, yeah, I mean, chiefs and so chief. I mean, stakeholders. Near a beba bontibia also munyebi. But yen review act no. Ukwa mine bia also kwa first point of call no say udike hu chiefs answer.
Right.
And at that point no chiefs no so bemu or mutimi bold e ka say there be government amount that permits but has a yam so. Ohwe Mampong area. Offense several areas. In fact, I mean, His Royal Majesty Otumfo also indicated clearly say ono so ompene magalamsey enkoso now I was very happy say obusa say na hwan na ehia moa say obeko galamsey a waba ababebo ono amane eno na challenge to the chiefs seriously me who chiefs bia wet my babe bolts nana bibi enkoso na mintimi enti no eno che say one way or the other omumu bebre I mean they are also involved. And let's go back and flip them in. He says politicians don't go.
Everybody's included.
The chiefs must also be whipped. In line. Now also interested. I think entina omo allows anima. Sika saying ena omo aje. So excuse me say but omo ye involved omo sha say jeje say nyene enke yade enke bema omo ye ya enke ba na omo ayi otum konso has been candid or say uhia mo a won bra me musa say how many people have been able to go
all right
so na men so me blame in fact organized labor in fact Miami group I say no they are virtually asleep
omada.
Yes,
All do you expect from them?
Edijina galamsey fight mu declare no say government cry should declare a state of emergency. Some more no na me because emergency and then so say emergency. Why they so quiet? In fact, base pay cry no one can negotiate no mobile troka.
Thank you, Doc. We are Dr. Chairman Edmond Opompepra, lecturer KSTU, senior member of the MPP, and Oten. Kwame Tua Patrick. Kwame.
Kodi.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Nabokode.
Nyanko pando.
Nyamiase.
Nyanko pando.
Yenkasema feli Ghana for na in terms of galamsey issue no.
Another usual Saturday. Mama ko abuche.
But many I say NDC buy a yen crowd of. And the therefore
ya ukoyi uko obuza se bakonu wood amen owo MPP time
say you politics.
I say NDC buy
makwana 1 2
someone you say politics one
MPP so bomb say NDC buy ye na do so am say ye bebre owo MPP time I don't postpone the aba time I say oh no let them to form Mr. Omar na mecha Mr. Opompepra. Almost all I am lecturer.
Dr. Opompepra.
I am lecturer.
Okay.
2014-15. Now I'm a team president.
In fact, no
hard.
Number 1.
I'm a team president. Mr. Opompepra got take tank me. Now, oh yeah, no friend, no I press conference. Oh yeah, that was my press conference. Oh, we in the press conference.
That's why you're there.
Me so I press conference. I'm a statement.
That's why
that was my president. That was my president job. I was my press conference. Anyway. It was very interesting. But Kwamizu, on an AME patron at the time was Yamano.
An appointment, yeah.
Deputy Director General for TVET, which is very, very, very rewarding. Unlike Mr. Opompepra. The omuye nyina on party by one
masaka ode
oh I am they were all in the same faculty.
Ode omo e dia mom no ka mo de
but Mr. Opompepra there na me no the same faculty o chere me business in Ghana global business and research matters.
Okay.
3 subjects Mr. Opompepra na chair na Kwame so the same enter make say
okay
any Dr. Ayojam so mula wakama bi oh may you so rest memory no mu nyina the current vice chancellor.
Yes.
Mr. Jumo, Dr. Jumo,
Professor Jumo.
Hey, this is quite a prof.
Professor Jumo. Position.
No, so yeah. Faculty, don't say faculty na Kwabena for. Eti Kwamizu.
Memphis last.
Last
one day I require a press conference. Super me anti Moana. Phone back friend. No so. You see why you see what I'm so. Me am ma.
Anyway,
right. Mama congratulate Kwamizu.
All right.
Na people for nenhwe. Say the aye Kwamizu no.
I'm so young microphone
be 2045 or baby on power. No, on kai Mr. Pompe Pramo. And no go position, so on party na sabesu omo so. That was just by the way. But Ghana for nyina yegusua en mamu say omanya e befa yi na nyenti na mo de man. Yen complaining na mum ehia ma say yama Ghana for hu say de sitie na say nyame ya adom na ne mamu sisa omatimi ehu say oh mo befa ha na mo de akwa nze hu say ye ka challenges na ye nka ne say ye complaining dabi ye nim ne ye ba ne enim say nye ane ka che Ghana for say bitima ye na Ghana for de amayen ntinye say ya ba ne ye ba back can problems na che Ghana for dabi now so ehia ma say ye ma Ghana for hunu challenges are ya ba beto na fe ye ne Ghana for nyina we need Ghanaians na Mr. Pompe prepare can labor was minimum say be call ba bia Ghana gina sesia no aban ya madaroma mo de aba no ye be hia Ghana for ne ne mabuman no aban we ya abai ye hia Ghana for corporation enti bibia ni a ye bomo na so ne ne mabedi nkomo na mo so ma contribute because ba bia mbi before the man na kwose no e te se ye nyina ye ka ye ho bom ne yetimi yi Ghana afio eni jesime wo mu ni se ye betimi aye se ka se be ya we can do it. There are positive signs and this by president by what demonstrator me nyina ye say se ye ka ne ho a ba bi o man na practice apansa ma say no e betimi aye yi. All right. O he ministers a ya te so dia ba 60 na from a hoop 123 to 60. O de onim hwe kura no sabi ya se obi onim hwe kura dokona to ahye de ohun a ohun sa no omu nyina yusu ka to the financial ministry si na nka ye beto Land Cruiser obi akra mpo a na Land Cruiser ne bo ofu kra $100,000 enti say ya 10 ministers ne so by even 50 ya save Ghana 50 Land Cruisers I bia not less than $100,000 and say omo deputies nyina ko mo so beto Land Cruiser enti omo so say na no so ye 50 ya save Ghana 50 Land Cruisers I no so ka be ko say ba ku bia average $100,000 calculate it enti abanya wa yese no e kire se sa post ni nyina no yese wo nipa o akutu ka senka ministers yi ko be se 100 and something kam nya deputy minister bi ni yese wo nipa yeso nke di post ye but ye nyina ye squeeze ye ho because ese se ye mia ye ho ne etimi ti oman no ko entimi hwe oman no oman ne nkoto amnem enti sa actions a president Mahama eteki bra or bre e won appointees ni because ye wo 183 MPs and over na we say wuyi MPs every one ya catch us say you more you do one every parliament meanwhile there are people almost so nye MPs almost deserve say omo mu no almost be serving in your government. Do you think it will be easy? Cabinet inquiry 19 cabinet inquiry constitution inquiry mandate statutory 19 and say na oba be deputies so to get 60 ministers in this era abanye de baby. This is how a government demonstrates say nania bre say opeso ote e kane sika twitwi die ni sika manfo fa de basa no opeso ote so enti aban ya toto eniama yeye ya ba ye tuma ko negotiate ama e ka na Ghana de no to bibia akoso about $2.8 billion abofana promise say omo de ba be chen ya asem da e be free yen eno na ama yetimanya do I see IMF negotiations no yam pese ye be sa akọ extending ni bi mu no because sa ade ne ba na e be free financial take Ghana for say muntu aban system when a new government comes aban for ba esam say nipa nim to say coach amansanti otimi di nkom ma na mamu sesa enti sa financial issues ni nyame ya adom na no so ba na no so timi be bi mu a na economy na ye kan
I prefer ka when you call the Ghana economists
we initial comment meba galam say no so so praka sa be 20 minutes na mtia what I say enti we initial comment
minim say kwame na che time minim say kwame na che time
initial comment enti ya koso aka che Ghana for say there is hope 24-hour economy as we speak yedema Yewura Gusitano another fantastic personality unya time I go and read about him very knowledgeable down to earth person 24-hour economy as at now is almost share and kataseme ohun nyina omo ye we are expecting say by next month they will start engaging the major stakeholders factories and companies in there so and also ba be mama bunu anya adwuma there are a lot of hope but within the 24-hour economy there's a security aspect I promised to 25,000 into the security agencies. Yet that is also coming on board into more police and soldier near the diakon. There is hope coming. And so these are the things that are coming. There are positive airwaves. What the Ghana now kind of cry. Also, let's see now when I'm Ghana crowd to say you can see that there is hope coming. And Ghana Fonko Swanta Banachi, everything will be okay. Then before no, I'm you don't bet I'm a babu ya de biana near cost on the Jani, Ukojuma Untiminton.
I use about 10 minutes. I use 10 minutes.
Hey, I don't time they fight.
Oh, you use 10 minutes. Young Konafi, young.
I'm saying, come
have you lost the fight?
Obian lost the fight.
Moon lose fight.
Obian fight.
Yes, more soon as Muna shifts. As a blue color and everyone green, I could take over.
Obian lose fight. But you see, Galamsey. You tum say as I say a fight. And you have a fight also. Me I did hear me pie yensu. Yentman yashi kran and so any dear. As I say a man's own anything. Na yasang esa protect forest. So Tamana Mr. Pompe Pregasano. Oka about reserve forest. Reserve forest almost Mr. Pompe. Monko for na amount for reserve forest moon. Proud to say, ye did get the gun, Mamono. Not your mra, mo be a council reserve forest. Until your reserve forest, I hand you over mom as 2016. None in a virgin.
All of them, are you sure?
Oh, are you sure?
Are you sure?
I'm coming. No, there was not a single reserve forest, and then this year, Obi Rum Koya mining. And to mobile, and I'm who say. And this ya bogan na ho bra ya dane o maya mamo eja o man no kwaya brentu kwaya ni bi o ha ya reserve ya kwa me kroma na de to eya na reserve forest o ya ja to hwa ya de Ghana mamo ya dane mamo saa unim so omo wo forest area and reserve forest area no so an hwe ye na se udua afuo kura na ma ni wuram a etima soja fo betwagu so ko wuram ko twa bode no obi pie no hu so ko twa kura etimi ye chew ye wuram emu ahwea unu ahwea abona na no hwea se ono kura yanwe emu kusie yanwe opie firi mu dia atimi kunu ba owura mu koku na ye bejeli. That is how I ja forest ne ma mo ba ya na mo pe boni adim Ghana say ya mo be say no adwea mo de ba ya ene ama Ghana awie say amakoni adunti sa mara na na hye ye constitution mu say reserve forest ye makwan mo obi nkowura mu enkotu mine no. More people for Mubaya, my first time now, more majority be na mo change this 69 seats no, more call parliament. Fete na mo review at the end say, Mama Quine say, Yonko Uram, ye Uramu Yesu. Oh, Mr. Pompe, Mr. Pompe,
the last parliament, parliament, The issue is that okay, Kwame, you finish. The issue is that Kwame. The issue is that Mr. Amwa, MP before the call parliament. Yes, but the last parliament. In the last parliament, but before they left office, they also sent it revoke all those lands. So what happened?
Let's establish some facts. Tama and this day. On my name MP before 2016. Now I'm ready to Ghana how many people reserve forest. Okay. One of the best is I'm running my mouth for reserve forest.
MPP are mine.
Exactly. So let me continue my submission. Oh,
continue. You have the floor.
Stop. I'm imagine the paint here.
You have the floor. You have the floor. You have the floor, Uncle.
So that is a fact you cannot run away from. Fact, and then they say, yeah, the Ghana ma omo. Na emrase ye constitution mu so obi antimi nwura reserve forest mu omo bae no omo kwosesa no time omo sesa no whatever we can discuss that, but it is a fact that MPP aban
apeso
and omo de call parliament kwosesa mra no say forest no gold wo mu ye di eyeye and omo de share mu de caveat share mu say na emu betuma wura ma agisa mampanyi na san and so say ne yes over 44 hwan ni amanfo wura ma. Then Mampanyina Kufado na sign mo nyina wuram because I'm running see before you can enter those forests. And the Mampanyina na sign. Enti say ye din komo na ye ka how or minor say your forest say ya. Abi before no enka mu kra de ka mo kra. Because boni amubedi senka wo de ye tena kom ha ye galamsey nyina no. And anka ye reserve forest nyina ye saver. enka ebe to this ankomo we so wonam wiem na say wote flight him na o hwe form a owura be ho
gala di babia
owura be ho say wonam kura de a wohunu ana wo di drone ekọ wiem wo western region
na utwa
na wo hwe say de forest no yes sena ayamu number yes ade no. It is your handwork. You the Ghana man when say yes and the NDC, I admit. Nagalam say koso. Me ntra ha nya hypocritical. But your forester, na your virgin forest, reserve forest there. Your bo ho ban, your dey mamu na your virgin. Mo na ma be say ni nyina ese samra wura mu pasam ne say no.
Now you have the mandate now.
Yes,
mandate
now. No, you see,
what is happening now?
It is better say we didn't come say the names upon trading come now. We remind them say these are the people talking. Because any Ghana for ne kasa. They say my Ghana for who say these are the people are and omo twa omo ho omo kasa no. Maria no. Afi and this the gold board eba. You see, mine no na omo can figures. We say 1 million, we say 2 million. The bottom line is that see a part and parcel of Ghana. Okay. Mukra da mo hwe from the employment point of view. You gold na yenya na ne tonnage na increase no. The mining activities na e cost no. The illegal mining or small scale mining or whatever no, contributes to it.
Of course, yes.
Enti ye din komo na we are not talking about a ban on mining. But mining responsibly and making sure say yensuo ye forest ye cocoa ni ade is protected. Ye betima yesa anayentimi ye. That should be the conversation now. And there be NDC by President Mahama Nkasa, president, announced say lances are the man called 4 core reserve forest munina were revoking.
Atiba is happening. Is this going on? It's still going on. That's the issue. Yes.
Free back we came to government about a month and over. And I would say you buy there ban among 20 years about it. And I make sure oban. Edin kind. 2 million people for Bonnie on person mudi Ghana, say your forest, to your forest, say ninti. Some rana omukoye no omudi lances ma omu party for na da di wura forest ni mu say no. President Mama say, wa okuta krata ni bia watwam. Me pa cho enye a move to fight Galamsey ana.
Is it going on
I am coming. You see, and to say ya President Mua. Akase Krata bi ekuto obi o there reserve forest mu bia watwam no. Se abetu wo mu a we can easily arrest you.
Okay.
So, I start free baby. And son no ba be wie wo baby.
How many arrests in am I here?
That
is the issue.
I
am the pa because I won't hear me. I won't hear me pa.
I the pa. Okay. Enti ya no awie. The committee are more established gold board. Mami chirem gold board no never be any. The yana mama 40 ase pa na say ye cocoa board. E o Ghana. The omo ye ne say cocoa bia no be pia free Ghana. Ense sefa cocoa board for so. Enti so odua cocoa o bedroom kura na se so na otia. E so de kuma cocoa board for no moto. Omo na aban am say tum so mutimi to cocoa no mo export to cocoa. Ye to krom hai. Gold no omo de bi fa poso fa ha. No omo de bi afa ha ura ko diva no omo de bi afa akwa no de afa akwa. Now NDC aban President Mama di animu e the gold board but the cocoa board. Eba be establish na ya equip wo nti enwa mu a mo call school of mines nya ade na obi an chase enye ni CV ni na ade yi adwuma ebeba because every district will have a district office of gold board. At that office you benya environmental processing agency for agent you benya all the relevant stakeholders in the mining sector what they are going it's not only to buy gold or more about be engaging miners on how to do responsible mining. Normal anti say yenim say KOD eya mining wo Kessben studio has seen gold board for na district ho no EPA rep wo ho minerals commission rep wo ho all the relevant agencies ni nyina bi wo ho no no omo na ebe ensure say are you complying with regulations are you to gold ana and because they are in the district and they are closer so omo so be adwuma ne nko a it must have an effect. You see, because you cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different results. And all the challenges are yet doing common. We must put in institutions that will fight that particular challenge. Institution a bit fight that menace, a gold board. It's not only buying. but also helping them and assisting them. And nothing I make us a school of mines near the adeno or more and shall say no CV near the idea, you know, because the gold board will target them and irrespective of a party. So I NDC, so I MPP, yeah, NDC for your fair Juma, and this MPP for Ghana Nibia Ghana ni. And this one real mines, what school of mines, I could see a situ from a good year near the idea. Gold board now urban, we are coming to engage you, employ you, you go to the various districts, assist the miners. Because yentimi creative gold board ni egu mining activities in our Ghana na gold board for no say on ba beto adwenwo ana say anka. So once you are creating the gold board, you must make sure say what regulate mining activities no amanetima ko yi se ye anu wi a betima boa another ade so a asudi e dan dis aban so pass so ne say na manane ade ya tutu ni ade dada ho ne ye ne den o ta se because asase no Nyankopon so unique say o sa asase ne kosi sen na wo nipa na o sa asase no se be wani ba ho so na so pese o sa ya asase ne yi a Nyankopon se o boa na na pese o ye ne obetu amana sa yi ntutu amana ne to kakraka na o kata so na o kava so na yesu yi na o di enuane ade esisu a within 2-3 years time obeduru one ho nyina sa peja eseko nti sa adwuma no so ya fati on so ye ba yi ye ba be ya through the lands ministry near that as at now engagement e koso a amana o matututu no nyina no even yentimi kata ni nyina so krampa there should be a direct policy aggressive policy from government which I am aware ye be kata sa amana ni nyina so ni esa dua nuade ede akava so that ye nya amana ne ntoto sa say o makose forest ni o matutu amana na to enti ye nya ne sa odoto be forest tama media for mu ko mu amukotwa ye no amana pit na o matu no Baku Kessben de say baba ya sports stadium park na ebo so ball. Maku 12. Oh, it came. The videos were circulating. And you can damage na bia unim the extent of the damage for any bu say oh hebo park na ya na ebo so ball no. Players na nam so no. Maku sa 12 into the other reserve forest odotobri heye. And this amana no ye be ja to ha manchirima beto ana. As I say esa kata ni nyina so na ye ho adwuma. Enti asodie de I accept say asudie e diaban super. But make us say we our government is not an arrogant government. Yabanri Ghana ni bia can criticize this NDC government. You can choose to use the words any words you want to use to criticize us. I know the words now be used no be describe me hu nipa kra we. But we are ready for criticism any day any time. Because Ghana for the man to me. Enti Ghana ni bia obehu ade bia enko yie bia no yente sa aban bia twa ma o ko ma se ma na nkofo etata no. You have the right to criticize. You can use every word you want to use if you think say to describe us. You betie na de mo bo ma ye befa. Enti galamsey ni de you can assure Ghanaians say yaba we will need their cooperation. Also make us say nyina me say bibi ebeye bia je se Ghana for boy. Say the gold board neighbor na and I know committee na I set it up omo ye bibia ye rasa me jamfi na edano through the PMMC o ma set bibia say the gold board neighbor na certain activities na ye dey fight illegal mining no na ye dey ya Ghana for moyen na yentimi nya na yentimi.
Thank you very much.
Until we are on course.
Thank you.
Fight it and make sure say
Kodi Galamsey issue at Obuasi East didn't start after December 7. This government is trying to solve, so the media should encourage the current government to solve the problem, not to criticize it. From Sir Kabis, London, Ramford. Sir Kabis, eno nchese omudi amayenka yebeka. We will talk about it or fight here. Then on they should get because school dear no dear media I want say school for work classroom now obi Galamsey how table asingina right ma yantwa so ha say Ike takwa say okay I say workers in this country are ungrateful to Nanado. In 2023 Nanado gave us 30% and 2024 25%. He was demonized. He gave 2 allowances amounting to 3,200 Ghana cedis to teachers, but we still rejected MPP. Today we are okay with the 10%. We all live to see or say again but NDC said it's MPP who were doing Galamsey. Today they are out of power. How come Galamsey is still getting worse? Okay, and also Edia Ode Abraham. Good evening to you and to your great guest from Honorable Akwesi J. Mensah of Asichirwa near Ifijase. Now that President Mahama has got his ministers, we are going to see if the country is going to move forward. I don't know, sir. No, okay, I don't understand today. Maminyan Hosa. Good evening, Mr. Host. Said if Mahama's government have decided to fight corruption, it's good. But Mahama should start from the previous administration, just as okay. Let me leave that one. Start from the previous, such as double salary scandalous Galamsey. Mr. Host, mark it on the wall. Mahama cannot and never stop Galamsey because I've said it severally. MPP and NDC are the same. All is because their hypocritical ways was used to cut our umbilical cord. Based upon what will Mahama say during his 2024 campaign, he need not any advice before taking any forms of proactive positive action. What is 10% to teachers going to benefit from them? Mahama should stop the blame game and do better for good Ghanaians good, because some of us are tired of the plenty noise making. Na nothing our kaswa the way Abraham we say JDM is capable of fighting Galamsey, so let's support him. Stephen Wonder from Achuma Kwangoma district. And on the way Abraham. Good evening, Mr. Host. We have said we have CISOs supervising teachers every week. My question is, who supervises the minors after giving them license? From Techi Ewo Eye Techiman and or the way Techi or Techiman. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Host. The effective method of tackling the Galamsey menace is the bottom-top approach. The fight must be spearheaded by the chiefs, local and traditional rulers, and the indigents of the communities whose farmlands and water bodies are polluted. If the chief says no, not even U.S. or Russian forces can destroy their lands and waters. Bakwesi Ewokentin Krono Ensenye. Ena Odiwe Abrayan teacher Kujo Tepa Enyina Susu Eso Edibi Abrayan. Now say President Mahama, without any data to justify the enormity of your so-called economic crime scene, this is just an excuse to evade being accused of your incompetence, which we already know. Talking about reckless spending, yet traveling has become your hobby since you assumed office. Going to America to attend a Black History event is not a sound way of managing our depleted government finances. No amount of propaganda will make you a competent leader. Okay, teacher Kuju Ewo Enyina Susu Tepa and Odiabe Abbas Amagobo Ewo Fenso. Also, the Honorable Regional Minister and President Mahama will surely win the fight against illegal mining. Let's all support them for the sake of Mother Ghana. All right. If the NDC wants to fight Galamsey, then they should have a program under the YEA that can motivate the youth into agriculture. But whilst they are sucking people in Kwai, I don't believe they can fight Galamsey. Please, ECG, don't destroy our home appliance. It is, I am Anthony Bakau, Asin Breku, and Odiwe Abraham. We say, good evening, Kessben. Tell the NDC guy he should stop talking. He likes talking too much. We Ghanaians don't need any more talking again. No perching in heaven. Oh, Nana Kwame, latest film, Ewo Ghana, and or there was some criticizing Bia Obejatum. Was say, I am Okateche Efri Faduku. Good evening, Mr. Host. NDC doesn't have men. That is the reason why this government has reduced his appointment. Oh, Samum. Anyway, we NC teacher Kujo Tepa Enyina Susu and also EDB Abam or say President Mahama without. Okay, that one has been read already. My end to us. Good evening, Kodi. Let the NDC man tell us what Kwekubwahen and Tony Orbin went to tell the Galamseyers, and then also whether he's aware that Abuga Pele and Baba Jama brought excavators to Ghana for Galamsey. Josh Ewo Amasamang and on the way Aben tell Kwame trying that 24-hour economy is doomed so. Sir. 24-hour economy in Dumso is cost 90. Kwame should also ask Isa Taylor and Thomas Wisdom Kujo, when did they start deploying the nordness in Bonsaso, Wasa Nkran, Akribwanda, Nkransie and others. Okay, the same John Mahama, no new thing. We Anthony Bakau, Asin Breku, and or the way I read the rest of the messages. Meba na afe maba abekan ede amama. Afe mienko the organized labor meeting with the president, and then accepting 10% increment. A what na a crime scene no eba doc. Mama shashe from free na yenhwe ho no.
KOD, thank you very much. I'm so I mean Mama used 30 seconds.
10 minutes, so you finish within 10 minutes for me. Yes.
Who presentation of Kwame a year no. What I can say is in fact that I mean asempa who 8 year.
Yet
kasa bebre. And I say no Nyankopon adom aboamo. I mean mo win power. And in long talk be mu. Who opposition there gidi but I mean we winning. Yeah, idea no galamse so over. I feel now come back and MP before you say I am very likely so omumbe use 4 years no nyina kasa about MPP I say MPP critic crime since na aso but nye no nti na Ghana for atoma mo munye mienhwe KOD now there were special conditions allow Mankrofo me mining in the forest areas though I will not say you're right now MPP for the call I mean parliament no NDC for also G2 the numbers so now they were 50-50 but yeah until I work out on this issue that yedi G2 yeah G2 we afi no mobile bonte say oh I didn't MPP for na dey buy now at the tail end MPP ba be free so cry yes also the call parliament senka that law no yes also revoke en free hono so I'm very happy pass a tie for back ka me kwaku boahen any other I mean people because 2016 MPP campaign at Tia Galamse no omo no mko abonte koye campaign oh say ba oh ye be mo biaye even this 2024 about we man tisa oma condemn Galamse seriously me tisa this for kind no say omo ayachi omo egum kra no omo ba omo be release omo enti ama omo sa no ai tight kakra omo nya political war no emfanso
some the policy buy say omo be ye e bi na Kwame dey atudwe say omo the policy hold up by some be hwe now they involve the chiefs around omo the gold board beba omo the environmental protection agency be call omo abobo anu na so for ni
chiefs the environmental protection so one awoka one gold board number 1 and MPP 4 years saying say o started so early with political colors. Now he put be good the government that came up. President, in fact, I mean, Galamse for a very difficult amamutai. So when the man recognize it, wow, now in the previous government, I mean, media some advice and I mamu. Yamra base pay. Base pay no so yamfa 2025
in the first place you agree say Ghana financially your crime scene
okay in fact I mean me diao pa say president it me describe Ghana as I mean a crime scene na say
financially
na say financial sector no crime scene who no as president what who name say a crime scene then I mean what did identity now buy say I mean yento amount because crime scene the nka nyo enti o say nka say hey crime scene the ma tweme hu
hey so obetimi ama na command na bia wa
we kira ho no campaign o yento ma me say yeto ma hu wi house o ade ne crime scene so na me near ya ewo ho no eno say who's a president and free swearing or kasa na kasa timi motivate shame cry but has said in no a totally o kasa I mean unkrofo mu pese or mudi o musika be invest no you scare them away
ben na Kwame kasa na o manya about reliefs about saying $2.8 billion.
In fact, omunyanya
a mind it me fair hon to
confirmed
anyway
into please
a relief
they want to give it out like omunjibium and yes sika omo dey bread
what you are trying to say no they say ebia Kebia, I mean, if I Ghana for the patch also very good.
It gives you because 2026 will start paying. 2026 will start servicing our loan. So if you have 2.8 billion relief, which means that the amount of money you will be spending on your loan from 2026.
Doctor Gwami too.
In fact, the message my creative impression say 2.5 billion be aba. There be negotiate say or fine chair. Now my space me operate. And the difference I was calling near this Ikama or the impression who created in there. Obi a one ten or about you say Sikabi free baby. Ghana for Sikabi MI. And no buttress me point say Biana Obi O Ghana. I mean, you change government into me ba na mababe invest. In fact, I mean, Muska Kakra. Who do airport? No, what is it? President say Ghana. I mean, financially crime scene. And then who say Usika no o de ba and answer unfango because I dey crime scene na the dream keta I say bibia dey Usika no de ba ababe. Similar to near John Gina podcast some time ago. So, fuel like 5 hours. I mean, Bessa. Where's a who create fear and then panic? But say you hear no stability. So, stability aside the ode ban. Obi so honma or ye juma or person or invest so much. Obi person or co financial sector. But say who create we say everybody, I mean, says back. And you know, I mean, in fact, Mr. say, or more mutu, I mean, government for we they call to the Council of State. Fortunately, nanu ya na, I mean, yes, woman. Come first media, or more medium, two present for. Say, and some I beg creative fear and panic among Crawford or Musica, I mean, Aquanodia. Say you should not go there because I dare not buy any onunko a car obia say we need investments. And you know, instead of saying uncle about describing as crimes, you know, because you meet challenges. Name you share how to solve it. You invited both local and then international partners. So more embra emebwa. One area here cry, I mean capacity building. Number 2, be a debt service and move be in chain. I mean, number 3 is a bit mania credit. I mean, HS interest no lower. I mean, bilateral agreements will welcome this. Okay, so I pay obi beba ababe. Na and I'm being you charitable. Free
consultation.
Free because the bar bebo Ghana. No baby no free ni eko. And to so who position in a way say obe sending out positive message to both the international community and then to your own community. Now what portray say umiti challenge but ube downplay and where we are say obia any honma or pay say baby enye no odin sika beko na sika wo dey impeded. It is everywhere. Investor beer or hear some signals, and this signal should not come from the president.
All right.
I'll admit, say we did what slip kakra. Just 2 months.
Okay.
We are willing to forgive him.
All right.
But on her side, no NC. Now, in fact, I was surprised. It has said that scene and now closing. Not only Bruni baby crambona. I mean, interview. Na broni ba aba wonchen eba betie ne wo na say wo ka say chenwa you are scaring investors away. Now you are describing your own country, your own economy as a crime scene. No time, Ben, when are you going to solve that crime? Now, over solve we time and then move on. I don't know. In fact,
so more handle the economy more criminally, more handle ye, anything or describing as a crime scene.
So, I mean, he knew it. Or among conscience, Emra MPP, Konosika saying any job. So, sir, yeah, hand you over, no, not lies, no, was it on? And I said, on.
Okay.
So, workers, no more pay. omunya na say omunya omunya na GDP no na rise na say rise and I'm sure say in the great transformation agenda describe economy as crime scene that now who government I mean who has won I mean now
thank you time
base switch just add a little so
about 2 minutes friend you mama 2 minutes staff
so base pay no for about 9 years we in Sakra about the lowest now.
Is it in terms of percentage wise? And I say in terms of friend is saying the Nimudru, because yeah come with 25-30% no inflation was somewhere around 54% then.
So last year when your base pay so say I mean 25%. Now I mean this year so last year inflation cramp was higher. Now this year inflation is lower. Now say when you 10%. Whether say ofano I mean friends in fact I mean cumulatively and now say ofano nominally it is still very low.
Very low.
So ofa 2020 ba yenya 20% da 25%, 24%, even 30% and 25%. And you know say and I mean ubana say obema 10% it is unforgivable.
Or see you na tightening a belt. Emu adene sikani ho. Anything ma organized labor could you too because organized labor shall say 60%.
I mean
we are not 10%.
Yes. So I mean trick no and they say baby a government if you no crowd no you too low. Obi demanded 30 also started from
60% now I'm 6%.
Yes so I was thinking ni 4 years organized labor and come choir almost declare 6% no in fact almost all the
I'm a charity because me can't be the time no. One more train yes sir for a very long time and yes.
My time. Rather me work I mean joint standing I mean negotiation committee a contraparty meeting. This will never happen. We will get up and go. Oh dear, we have bigger figure bra. And Quebec am at least 20 day binya.
All right.
And what 20 I mean
10%.
What 10 I mean percent. And no na me say omo lose omo concentration. Omo the call fighting of this drew the main issue no they are found wanting. Right. Now assembly I mean parliament. And I'm scandalized. Say majority leader all trivializing this issue. Because it's not like bathing in the end. What? You are joking with the pay of I mean workers. So no crampo HS or Munteki workers serious. Right. But no also organized labor now they have to take themselves more seriously. You cannot allow government to do this to you. Yes, it goes and bad no and I will never allow this.
Kwame me too. The next 10 minutes. That be Kwame
Unim.
It's in twofold.
Yes,
so the crime scene and then 10% increment pay increment.
Oh yes, my man 10% we are not by crime scene. You see, I na enipa ho. The way a man assemble ubesi approach assemble and the bet say ubenya results and unya results. When was the last time I who say labor for a committee on their salary negotiations? Na president and kasa team a negotiation. What will be that?
Occupy them.
Maybe sir, what will be that?
Occupy them.
No, what will be that?
Occupy them.
No. What leadership?
Trapada committee.
Leadership. You voted for John Mahama. You see, Ukwa na Akotoaba no. Na Trapada committee na that ballot paper so. You voted for John Mahama. Bibia akwa yo. Ewie ono a. Erunti ade President Mahama ya. Mr. Pompe Prama Baye ntimi anye. And say papa no upon all the business schedule. Ojai de oye bia no no abetena o manim asantefo nwoma. Etimi ensa nchemu aduasa miensa. Omo se nipa nim te se ko twamansa enim.
Eno anodu ko hunahuna ho.
Dabi. Leadership. You see, how you Mr. Upon
Brag organized labor the America say
and I'm refin said obesi ni nipa no Mr. Brag is one pass or coin president mama to one at him and on who do come direct away and yet you catch no papa na nia wo blame mo enti mo president mama ba so say ono ankasa bae ebehia omo organized labor for ne tena omo anim ene omo di nkomo that alone that there chinchi mo nsa eno nko akeke no crampo impact unless o mpese obeja tum say papa na ankasa ba ha ono ane ne kasa ye owe nye obi na eti akoka kire no that was that again president Muhammad timi kire mu ma organized labor for ni hu say omo ya ye gina enyina ye Ghana ya yetimu and before any born you talk to the sense say yentimi kwa service a debt Mr. What we you are aware we can't even service our debt and this is the situation I have befa but ye boy home den say ye be bi enu nti kura na matimi minister so aba 60 enu nti na baye say o ka kire o say maka kire finance minister say on cut expenditure bia as much as so be o muti ho enu o ka kire the finance minister ni ebusan for maka kire ne say yen government crampo ye expenditure on cut no president asaka say omo mutu kwan no on say alupre no esi won yo ba bia escafort na alupre no mo de o mu say ehwe ho a o ti ba bia escafort da bro o tenya da bro ubewu enso so kwa ko try say very business class and if be economy
a comfortability no so
ene no de na say VIP bus the seat near back no de bo ho 3 e mu tra nya pe enten de ya but president mama sa show mo say o tu kwan o Ghana di mu a alupre no o tena mu a take wo from pa labor for no krom ha o mate labor for krom o mahu say aban we ba yi wati ni minister so aba 60 labor for krom nyina o mahu enti eye president Mahama aban ni sunu ne ban ne niam a wo yentu no betena o manim o say papa say there was ye hu say wo ye na wo pese wo adwen papa say obeboa Ghana 10% ni de nkeso and I admit say enso so Niama wuye wachire you have shown say one kasa no adwempa wo tirim wachire say person oye Ghana ye dia you say beboa wo 10% and am suppose be go pa ya want to say you President Mahama and the NDC government this current government actually say yam 6 March the last 6 March omudi who almost spend 15 million Ghana cedis 150 billion and omudi celebrate 6 March keke President Mahama say there be baby e just say yentin for size can go celebrate and this is much here be Jubilee House animu ha arise Ghana you for your country no celebrate we are no we read this speech obi akọ was obetuma o man save kura no obetuma save over close to about 100 billion kura so o de almost pay almost save 20 billion kura o ma save that is and this we yes e ma obi tie kira otimi hu mo kakra ke o de yetiwe na da bia ni pakwa no o reso na me de minika pro obi tu fa sa unu obi wadwumam da bia ono de da bia o hye obi a ma na kakra na se da ko bi o kofie na be hu se akwai na si bia ba ya take it si na nim
wache eyi preko ya ti si na nim
take it si na nim club aye table no so ma be 3 nipa ba ko for club be 5 na ade na waje adwo aya mere ya aya me mpana ga ba ku si na ye bonyum adwo aya mere ya aya me mpana no hurihuri kosoro a sade chire wo shiaro na so say man 20 cities a o hiri sum say wo obokrom ho obadwuma ma no aye ho momo ade sa na wo du sika nyina eju ani de grow medamase enti eye the way and manner the government Ghana NDC aban no yesi aye niam na ama organized labor adwuma for na hu se da bi papa yi ba yi say de ozie ni hihye nyina kire se oman ni sikasam ni ho ye oman ni sikasam nye na ni sunu ni ban kire se opese wo ye bibi no de boa enti ye boa na me support me plant ase yo enti organized labor ma me fasa akonya weso ni anda o ma se Ghana na ya ba befa no NDC amanya befa na ya kase ye hia Ghana fo ne anim abu no organized labor for demonstrate this idea no and I think say going forward every sector bia e be hia momu bia no ni die mu ni ahobrasem momu ayen na o man ya kase e be ni ye ni yentimi nye ni ye na criminal ade ni dey just 1 minute on that you see say dey uti e kira ho figure say dey ma and I can want him
yeah.
So opposition government about inflation here 23%. Eja eno na ye de bet na ye de ba discuss. But say ye hand over mount. now je krata na nkasa ana ba say so 23 na da bonten no a political figure go for busy football age and na say yesen enu ti ampa tamani e wo opposition no we talked about the economy ye kan say de na ase yadru but Ghana for ye di ade ne ma na ye hwe nkrata ani mu no it is more worse than what we thought it was. That is what we are talking about.
Is it not picking capital of the whole thing because you say organizations your every figure you need attorney general friends auditor general na for now figures yes
and can I unim say about 81,000 ghost names were NSS now unim Senyan this abai na buy now unim say ECG4 ekra container I was $500,000 container ne bedru port no Ghana buy ECG almost say abai anya sika nkwa nkoyi ye ntima frɛ president ama president an woda say ECG4 ne ma mfa ma omo say ade ni guwa mata mo che no e che no and omo ton ade e what $500,000 no e ma obi 100,000 Ghana cedis ni ba ko yi container ni pie e waya ye de waya kwa ho wo de ye den I say side come ECG and was akoto ma ECG back $300,000 send this ya ban ama we what e da enti se ka say crime scene na asma mi kan ye we ma show say ade a ye import no $500,000 $500,000 on Ghana cedis ECG o aye Ghana dia no abedu port yes ye ntima clear esi wa mata ma che no ta mo che no oma bon ocean de age 100,000 Ghana cedis nipa kwa ne to ye no eye waya ye de waya efie wo de be den and as am come ECG no aton 300 na ade aben ye ton 100,000 Ghana ye ton $300,000 back to ECG Mr. Upon me bra how will you describe this anya crime scene na no if you have other words if you have a different way to describe this scenario ya me no wakan use that word.
Thank you.
So indeed I found the way they handled our finances it is clear sir our finances not Ghana our finances is a crime scene.
But that's it. Someone my member honor for this being the description of the crime scene for our economy.
You know the crime scene there. We will be any according criminals.
Can you say a quadron?
Criminals. It's a via ora no criminals.
Yeah.
But in any case, Yanya said, Juma, you were a lot of workers. Pay increment as some bar and Yasam Kutuao. You feel say be a scout workers be a and susa. But never the workers here be 100 and I say 50 and I 70. Now say workers back. No be as
to market him
60%. And where we collapse. Because we say especially where over critical situations that they Ghana woman. Now, do you know signs of near ma and workers also who chill. They become inefficient. I create problems, baby. In the basa, yana say a casade and so no better. Watch church and watch you.
But some ocean says so from and Obiana workers not translating who say be a painphobia, Musudi Babino, Ebia, almost the almost fat one, Ebia, deeper back could decorate me 20 per 100 a day.
You're not necessary, you're no so. Only area back one, as I say, yes, a ban of trans and ocean. Now, it me a balance issues not very well, and said you will say. We been got tram baby na ono no sika wo gine pii no na ma obizu ni ho ya cause obi ase obi eye adwuma obi eye adwuma it has inti untimi ma obizu got tram baby na ono de ani de but a bad general say we see no eni pa ndozo eni pa o mo ka duan say yatum 10% ya so o ka bo mo a e chen o mo a o mo wo kakra bi na o mo gi pii no kura de
okay.
So, 10% there are two boom. We have to 71 office holders near you know, can you know, a bruise pea. When you found those, there's many a make a marker. It's a answer because when the numbers are great, na say oh yeah dear na say 10 cities kra na oya obe wi on na ko bebre they say policies are near yi obo abekwa command bi a 50 cities on tias is schedule
ska ke to we ya na
oh be bi a nipa akọ mu nche no na hweske no say bunim say a very high nti anu yare ba ko a ese hwe na ye ka Kwame o ka za 2.8 billion so say aban bia so bana so situation bi mu humble yourself that's him we are like kind maybe a twem what does it or kind say go to the multilateral and the bilateral agencies now udium can go to sit down with them na mo no mo kasa no mam debt release and debt forgiveness.
Now, sir, MPP Abino, maybe he took steps, but it didn't work out because you say,
and say, one cousin won't be who say, when you're corrupt, and now you don't have a
when you only live an extravagant life.
In the less, won't get now, where a TA, one more how, you normally did this, there's a community,
which you wish,
they know exactly what is going on here. What do I say? It is less cow is here, or more a release here, another Mudiachi. Kwame is kind of the yes, good father. Jenny, the chain, am I one Harry?
And you know, grass of the Ache.
But they have agreed. They are not there. They have agreed. They are not there. They are not there. They are not there. And I think they can even do more. When they see, say,
what they hear the also the year.
What the year, the year, none of it to moon say, oh, corrupt practices. Now, for whom say, who lead a extravagant life, sorry, who lead a prudent life. Now, opulence is not out. What better me to be grass?
Yeah.
The young near man may be as a secret. Because I am because baby or man I do the same. Now, a canoe air pal. See, a new reliefs kakra, a very difficult to see with my queen. Because then I saw him always in the back of trigger. It creates so many problems. So, because a trigger not going to affect inflation, not affect the exchange rate, not affect interest rate. That means I create problems. Now, for now, you won't hear one. It means them Jesus and money power. Now, we do not know, see, no. Yeah, near can't gold, environmental issues and they can't about gold in San man. There's one thing that's going on here. See, I'm shiny near Transia, or may bedroom maybe a back crack, sir, stones, no, even near the Abaquai. Granite in a, you know. A honor dear. It is not the quarries, no, who are encroaching. It's rather the growing form and encroaching on quarry lands reserves. A bit my boy. As and this about money bahona. You protecting all those quarry lands.
Okay.
Where I understand because you are not there and say. Obi akwagire kware na oye nwa na omusi dan ba na omusi ba e ben no na wo aboka wa de nyina na abeka kire se we nyina aben kuro nti ko wa bra ade na ho so hwe the quantum of need the value of raw material na ho no a e dan be 100 no mosi atwa ho hia no nya no yonko kura no but e be pam wo firi ho ama wo ma be sisi dan na si wo. I may say a lot of quarries are being buried. Okay. The cancer is buried. The quarries are buried. The beka kra na we beka abo.
And the akwan.
Enti I kwame mabey. Mama money cost sade on pa Minister of Lands. Omo money cost and protecting all quarry reserves in na. Say the beya omunsia dan ko.
All right.
Yes sir.
Good evening to all Kessben listeners from FDM and Adinho to Mudehin and Abuaje from FDM. But my appeal to all loving citizens is that they should not waste time on Mr. President and his ministers. Complete failure. Thank you. All right. Nediano Masawood Kumasi Bantama say, how can a president who is validly elected to serve his people will describe Ghana's economy as a crime scene? Mr. President, stop the blame game and get down to work and deliver the milk and earning economy you promised. Resetting Ghana agenda indeed. And also Edie Enonom. We say Isaac Watakwa or say Professor Jampo, how are you doing? In 2023, when workers were given 30%, Professor Jampo said the union leaders had taken bribe. This morning, he was on television praising Mahama These are the people God hates. Oh, so I don't even put it in wrong. My house been part of salary negotiations. It's hypocritical. Nana Fin Kaswa. Okay. And also, dear, and good evening, KOD. Please ask President Mahama whether he thought Nanado was Ezekiel to speak to his bones economic he left in 2017. Somebody who was able to chew all the meat and left with the bones do not make the nation crime scene, but the one who left 8.5 billion import cover left with crime scene. Mike Aprade Kumasi and Oduwe Abrayan. Mr. President Mahama, resetting Ghana's economy will not be complete without removing from office PBC Limited top management, i.e. the managing director and his 2 deputies. Operation and finance and administration, they should be audited as well to boost investors' confidence. One for the amba, asempa na person waka, ena waka. My man na fe mo bia be 2 minutes now for wrap up my yentimi anchor the other topics in so. Kwa ma mesha shen free ho. Just 2 minutes. Wrap up for me. Yes.
Okay. There's this thing, and I'm best me draw a party for attention on the fight on Galamsey.
Okay.
Unim said proud to 2024 elections. NDC held a press conference. As our press conference, you were some jemfine di anymore. So our press conference in him, and your boy a penny brigade ya opoku. Say, sa papa nana NDC for allergy or press conference in him say, MPP for the 2 near that there begundi dema criminal activity on some do crum when you are so jani pinino no modern edi. Kewodi, ya to a berry 2 months into our government. Papa na ye press conference and people from Pamno. Or that's what or did they? So is it supposing say the things we said and then you no cry and answer them because this is somebody a whole party NDC party. Yeah, press conference said this is somebody or a threat to the peace of Ghana. Or no MPP for nam no so didn't the bonnet was sentiment was say 2 near they do them. Say ni pano, your party no I we need power. 2 months into our government, or that's all. And I know yes also no so or quite Galamsey operations so in hini. Credibility ban or no what the person per NDC for years am I kind. So my question is, my party NDC, why are you still keeping Brigadier Opoku in Ashanti region?
That's a big question. Thank you very much. Mr. Ma, Mamintu.
Yeah, now what can we about cabinet ministers here and fast sports?
Any youth?
I don't think the idea
critical, sir.
Because in 19 years, same for be account. Obviously, the people are on team account. To me, I see say, and this are you're stretching it too much. Now you allow the 19 year, now pick because that sports there, you know. Over labor and a year, it comes in there. There are so many a year overlapping.
Cut across, okay.
And I cut across those. And when I make sure say, you put to their feet to obey them. All
right.
Because you know, or money in our team be. Me that's how I see the whole thing. Or money, or money in a bedi. Until Mama and this for Mabano, and Pesse, Modi, and I feel the atomone, there be an animal bloom when people near, you know. We said in flow. Now focus. You cannot root your future in the past. We don't have a nation that can root its future in the past. Let's move on, focus, and then build a nation for ourselves.
Thank you very much, Dr. Edmond Opombe Praman. I'm with you.
Money, yeah, you want to. Until me says a doom so no.
Now they see a doom. Mama could change the latest. I be see about thing.
I say NDC for no. Baby, no doom so. So, Mama doom so no. Yeah, at least MPP hand over government and doom so any honor and Timon try na mon fix ebiam so no in fact yin na ye twen say ene no asa kenke bo no yaede and ye twa we say kenke ba ko bo no e be free 7 cities no aba ebia 2 cities any 3 cities omo e promise na message say ye you excuses I mean as excuses no AI too much
anyway
o si kenke bo high o ba enti I mean ye gusu atwen
All right.
Yeah, try pa me say me nyanto kengi say me try say bo number from
What to Thank you very much.
Last one, Mr. President, Abranche Ayejuma.
On jump baby
me cheche dina
Emma. Anyway, thank you very much. Good evening, the President Mahama saying Ghana is a crime scene is perfectly true. Look at the mismanagement and criminalities caused by previous government. Example: National Service, National Cathedral, Sports Ministry, and all African Games, etc. Akufo-Addo's government didn't have sympathy for Ghanaians at all. President Mahama should deal with them. Alexa, concerned citizen, Ewo Goso, and Oduwe Abraham. Good evening again, Kessben. NDC people and their President Mahama, they will never do anything. Oh, they will talk. They will be talking, sir, up to 2028. Now, Dumswa is back again. Oh, Nana Kwame, latest film, Ewo Ghana. And Oduwe Abraham. Mr. Host, good evening. Please, why at all should President Akufo-Addo permit people to enter the reserve forest for what? Ononkwa new Edibiase and Oduwe Abraham. Good evening, Kyori. Ghanaians have regretted for voting for Mahama for becoming president. In fact, I don't know why Ghanaians voted for Mahama. In fact, if Dr. Bawumia were to be president, by now government workers will have enjoyed so much during Akufo-Addo's term of office. He had increased government salaries over 58%, but yet we rejected the MPP. We are live. We are all alive to see. Please, Kyodi, the Galamsey is getting worse, but TV3 is now quiet. Say Ike inside at Tebubu and Oduwe Abraham making kind messages. Just forgive me. Na afe yemfa jumedieno NC. Yabeda Malam Yaya. Ono ena oishe jumediya ene enyumrei yade ebremo ya monso mwatibi. Yabeda Dr. Edmond upon Pepra or a senior lecturer KSTU Utinenka Kwame Etua Patrick our NDC communication Utinenka na fei Mr. Joseph Amwa Movement for Change also a senior member Utinenka Nana Kwame Sunday afe Gulfred and Amwa Makenya na Mubu Amajumedie no ebaye no yadamasi yes so na Jumedia akano etimi atoaso medin Kwabena Owusu Dankwa. Bye bye.